It's the Ray Wilson Show, coming to you from Parker, Colorado. And now, here's Ray.
Well, I visited a Christian Science reading room, but I found that the material wasn't really challenging enough for me. So I asked one of the other guys that was reading there if they knew where the Christian Rocket Science reading room was. How'd you like to be John Philip Sousa's wife? You know, John comes down to the breakfast table and he announces, "I've written another song, Jane." And of course, maybe his wife says, "John, is it finally a love song for me?" Nah, it's another march. I didn't have enough marches, so I wrote another march. Just needed one more. I'd like to know who in Detroit decided that the name Murano was a good name for a car. You know, they didn't learn anything from the Nova. That means no-go in Spanish. You know, no one sitting around the boardroom said, "Hey, you know this name? It's reminding me of something. It's the word moron. It's the word moron." No one came up with that? Sheesh, what's their next car? The Stupido? I'm not certain who came up with riding the motorcycle inside the steel cage ball at the circus, but I do know that it takes years of training. Here's why. Well, Frank, let's try 42 miles per hour. 6 months later, you're out of the body cast and ready to try 43 miles per hour. You know, nothing makes a birthday more special and memorable than to have the birthday song yelled at you by the waitstaff of a restaurant in their most warm and enthusiastic monotone. And when they clap to punctuate the syllables, it's even more special. My suggestion would involve stopping this practice, not because it isn't really special, but because the restaurant could save money on the obvious training the staff undergoes in preparation for their performance. I'm only thinking of them. Somebody better tell the Breathe Right strip people to get that stuff off the market before they get sued. You know, I went through a whole box of this stuff, and I never quit snoring. And man, did I get a stomach ache. You know, with the writer's strike, we're seeing a lot more reality shows. And based on what I've seen, I think I've got some winner ideas. How about people who eat too much salt? Or people who use too much toothpaste? Now, how about people who can't tie their shoes? Maybe dentists who recommend gum to their patients who chew gum. That's a winner. I love how these drug companies stretch the faintest hope that their drug works. You hear things like, Harvard studies may indicate a suggestion that there is a chance that perhaps spirovira may aid in perhaps combating the condition that we say it cures. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm convinced. Criminals, here's a tip. Before you go out and commit your next crime, I want you to do something for me. I want you to think for 3 seconds. Can you see that? It'd be like, I'm going to commit a crime. But wait, let's think for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. What the heck was I thinking? Thank goodness for the Ray Wilson Show. And then off they go to become philanthropists and stuff. It's going to be bigger than acupuncture. I started seeing this doctor in a lot of commercials, and I thought, man, he must be pretty good. But for the life of me, I could not find doctor dramatization in the phone book. I bought a box of Gas X the other day for a friend, and I noticed the warning on the side of the box. In some cases, people who used Gas X developed lines on their face. from the tight straps of the gas mask they needed when Gas X had the opposite effect it was supposed to, and grossly intensified both the volume and odor of their flatulence. See your doctor if a single fart lasts longer than 4 hours. I want to get a class action suit going against the Mucinex company. I am just sick and tired of being grossed out by their anthropomorphic phlegm creature. I dreamt that their hideous mucus being kicked me out of my own nose the other night. I was both humiliated and grossed out. When you have a product that's excessively mundane, how do you sell it? You yell!
New Oxy Scrub is soap, but it's better than any other soap because I'm yelling, and that's what makes it so special!
A friend of mine just went through his first midlife crisis. He went out and bought the latest, most expensive, little red, sporty Husqvarna chainsaw money could buy. Drug commercials drive me a little crazy, you know? You be the judge. New Transformer will transform your life into a dream and make every day seem like a party. However, if you find the Transformer causes severe diarrhea and persistent vomiting and chronic chest pains, and it makes your eyes bleed, you might want to call your doctor because you could have a rare but serious condition. I might want to call my doctor? How about you better call an ambulance right now before you die? And these people want to make my medicine. Not so sure. The American Airlines commercials are finally telling the truth. 200,000 people on 38 flights a day. No wonder it's so crowded. The dumbest commercial that I've ever seen in my life. Gee, Dad, can you let me off a few blocks from school? Because the kids there are so environmentally astute that they ride bikes and drive hybrids and stuff. And they won't like me, and they may tip over and burn our Ford Escape. Somebody better call Plastic Man, because this commercial is a stretch, right? Come on. The dad saves the day in his tenuous relationship with his 12-year-old environmentalist daughter by explaining that the car is a hybrid, dummy. And the kids don't like you because you're a little weirdo, not because of the car. Well, Dad, why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't know I had to. Until now. And then I break down crying and I feel good about the Ford Motor Company. Can you spell new ad agency? You know, you have to love that little light that comes on in the car to announce impending catastrophic engine failure. I call it the $1,300 light because every time it comes on, it costs me about $1,300 to get it to go off again. You know, I can't tell if that's a little engine icon or a cash register. Here's a myth I'd like to see the Mythbusters tackle. The one where you hear people say, well, it's better than getting poked in the eye with a sharp stick. So I'm thinking of opening a pharmacological testing lab. You know, are you tired of companies taking years to get your drug approved? Are you tired of them finding so many side effects with your drug? At Ray's Test Labs, we'll have your drug approved in a couple of months, and with very little side effects. I mean, hey, we see someone with persistent vomiting or diarrhea, and, you know, we can look the other way. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they have a little accident that removes them from the study. You know, that could happen. You know, someone's coughing or they're getting gambling urges, and maybe they just disappear, you know? So if this is something that might interest you, you just you get in touch with me. Sure, we cost a little more, but we see a lot less.
You've been watching The Ray Wilson Show, filmed in Parker, Colorado at Ray Wilson Studios.